Live from Vintage Throne Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Intercounty Baseball League. And tonight, it's the visiting Welland Jackfish in town to take on the hometown Barrie Baycats. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Julius, Hern, I'm Ben Davy on a sweltering hot night here at the ballpark. Two pretty hot teams about to take the field tonight as well. The first place Welland Jackfish and the second place Barrie Baycats. This is a rematch of last year's IBL Championship Series between these clubs. Last night, the Welland Jackfish annihilated the London Majors by a score of 18-0. The Baycats, on the other hand, got blown away by the Guelph Royals by a score of 15-3. So two pretty lopsided scores. Should that be of concern to Baycats fans, Julius, as they look at those two lopsided scores and size up this matchup here tonight?
No, absolutely not. I think the Baycats, from their perspective, they're looking at the Welland Jackfish as that kind of bounce back game. They're already leading the season series 2-1 thus far heading into tonight. So they know what to do, especially against Ben Abram, a guy on the mound that they've already seen this year in the Jackfish's home opener back in May. So they know what they need to do to win. They really just have to avoid the big innings, which is something that Welland capitalized on last night in London, and the Baycats kind of fell against the Royals last night.
Let's get this ball game started. Here's public address announcer Rob Daniels with the starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Vintage Throne Stadium for season number 23 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. Tonight's Intercounty Baseball League game features the visiting Welland Jackfish and your Barrie Baycats. Here are the starting lineups. First for the Welland Jackfish, managed by Brian Essery. Batting first in center field, number 11, Gio Morello. Batting second, the third baseman, number 4, Jonah Weisner. Batting third, the right fielder, number 10, Matteo Porcelato. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 34, Robert Mullen. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 13, Jake Sanford. Batting sixth at second base, number 20, Dawson Tweed. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 15, Stephen Moretto. Batting eighth at shortstop, number 6, Tyler Dupuis. And batting ninth in left field, number 9, Ethan Hunt. On the mound tonight for the Jackfish, number 17, Ben Abram. And now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Metlow. Batting first, the center fielder, number 9, Canis Ejo. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Brandon Hernandez. Batting third at third base, number 55, Hayden Jaco. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 20, Nolan Macabroda. Batting sixth at first base, number 29, Malik Williams. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. And batting ninth in right field, number 54, Brandon Nicholson. On the mound tonight for your Baycats, number 97, Frank Garces. Here are the umpires for tonight's ball game. Behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes, Preston Hughes. At first base, it's Jared Merkley. And at third base, Don Michel. Fans, can you please rise, if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats. Performing tonight's national anthem will be alternative indie recording and performing artist Mike Haggith. Mike resides in Barrie and is extremely excited to be here tonight. Take it away, Mike.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Through patriot love, in all of us common, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field for our ceremonial first pitch, Christy Fines. She is the dealer principal of Barrie 400 Chrysler. Christy is one of the co-founders of Cram the Ram Back to School initiative. With the help of their team, their customers, and the community over the past 7 years, Cram the Ram has raised over $10,000 and put together over 1,000 backpacks. And this year, there is a need for even more. So Christy and her team are requesting your help and will be collecting all donations at each dealership until the end of August. Together, let's make sure every kid in Barrie, Innisfil, and surrounding area starts the school year off right. Christy, it's your pitch.
And on that note, it is time for Baycats baseball. Nice opening pitch there by Christy, wearing the red as the Baycats are on their Throwback Thursdays. And again here tonight at the ballpark, looking pretty good as Frank Garces comes out to take his warm-up tosses. Ryan Rio catching the first pitch there, the ceremonial first pitch. And Rio found himself on the mound in last night's game against the Guelph Royals, that blowout 15-3 game.
Fancies himself a little bit of a two-way player. Also had that huge home run in the ninth inning to cut the deficit to 12. But he ended that game on a good note, getting out of that bottom of the eighth inning and also, making his mark with a back-to-back games with a home run for him, but we'll see him a little bit later on.
Usually gets into the game as a pitcher once or twice a year, but I'm wondering now with that high ERA if he's going to want to get back out there at least one more time to try to lower that a little bit.
He was telling me that he was actually feeling really sore today after pitching, so maybe not so soon.
Well, he will have to be ready to get at it here tonight as he's in the lineup as the DH. Let's give you the Welland lineup first, though. Behind manager Brian Essery. Gio Morello, the center fielder and leadoff man. Jonah Weisner's the third baseman, batting second. Mateo Porcelato, the right fielder, bats third. Robert Mullen, the former London Major, cleaning up and catching. Jake Sanford, the DH, bats fifth. Dawson Tweet, second base, bats sixth. It's Steve Moretto in the seventh spot at first. Tyler Dupuis, the shortstop, batting sixth. And the number 9 hitter is left-hander Ethan Hunt.
Like I mentioned, on the mound for the Barrie Baycats is the lefty Frank Garces, making his 10th appearance of the year, 9th start. This is actually the first time the Jackfish are going to see Garces this year. Comes in with second best ERA in the IBL, 1.88, just behind Jacob Cush of the Royals, who got the save in last night's ball game. But Frank was absolutely dominant against Welland last year, pitched 7 times. 2 of them were complete games, a 4-1 record, an amazing 52 2/3 innings against Welland last year throughout the regular season and the playoffs. So it's a historical success for Garces against the Jackfish. We'll see what he can do against them tonight.
Hitting off the first inning for the Jackfish.
Gio Morello will come to the plate.
Gio Morello.
Center fielder hitting .320. 6 of the 9 Jackfish hitters in this lineup for Brian Essery are hitting .300 or better, and this man is one of them. So he does a little bit of landscaping in the batter's box, steps out. Frank Garces does a few last stretches as we get ready for the opening pitch here at Vintage Throne Stadium. First pitch is high. We're underway at 7:40 tonight. Game time temperature 29 degrees, 33 with the Humidex, and it's not expected to cool off a whole lot as we head through the evening hours. But the sun going down behind the clouds, a little bit of cloud cover here has sort of made it feel a little more comfortable than it was about an hour or two ago.
It was extremely humid all day today around Barrie. And the fog in the morning just kept lasting until late in the morning.
Swing and a miss, strike two. The wind's calm right now above the right field scoreboard. Garces, the veteran Dominican lefty. 2 stints in his career here with the Barrie Baycats, pre and post-pandemic. Winds and deals the 1-2 pitch, and it's lifted foul left side.
First team IBL All-Star last year, left-handed pitcher for Garces. Absolutely dominant season.
You mentioned 7 games against the Jackfish last season. 2 of those would have been in the IBL Championship Series. So 5 of 6 regular season games, Garces was on the mound. This one to second, and the throw is made in time for the first out. Let's give it the defense for Barrie behind starter Frank Garces.
Here it is in the outfield from left right. It'll be Nolan Macabrota back in left field this evening. Kinesijo, his usual spot in center field. Brandon Nicholson makes his home debut as a Baycat in right field. Meanwhile, in the infield, Hayden Jaco at third. Brandon Hernandez back at shortstop. Adam Audi saw him right there at second base. And Malik Williams making the put out at first base, with Tyler Plumpton getting the start at catcher for Frank Garces.
I think it got to the point last year where a lot of Jackfish fans were starting to get the feeling that the Baycats were intentionally just putting Frank Garces out there every time these teams faced last year. Maybe some players feeling that way a little bit as well, but this year, the complete opposite. This is their first time seeing him. Breaking ball for a called strike, 0-1.
And I don't doubt that was intentional, because what's the old saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And Garces was incredible against Welland last year. I mentioned 2 complete games in those 7 total games.
This one hits a right field, and it's over the head of a leaping Malik Williams. A base runner for the Jackfish with 1 out, and it brings the number 3 hitter, Mateo Porcelato, to the plate.
The right fielder, number 10, Mateo Porcelato.
Porcelato hitting .333, 5 homers, 16 RBIs. 6 homers, 20 RBIs.
So I want to go back to Jonah Wisner with that base hit. Extends a hit streak to 6 games, and he's been incredible. The last 5 games, gone 12 for 18. One of the hottest hitters in the Jackfish roster right now.
So Wisner leads at first, does not go, and the first pitch is a called strike. Wisner has 4 stolen bases, 5 attempts. This man at the plate is a perfect 20 for 20 in stolen base attempts this season, Mateo Porcelato. Pitch on the way from Garces, and that misses down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleanup man Robert Mullen on deck. We're in the top of the first. Middle infield shifted slightly around to the right. Runner goes. Throw down from Plumpton. The tag. It's there for the out. Jonah Wisner caught stealing, and there's 2 away.
Just a perfect throw from Tyler Plumpton right in the sweet spot for Brandon Hernandez to put down that swipe tag. Looked like a bang-bang play for sure, but you couldn't have drawn it up any better.
This Welland team is aggressive on the base paths, and a good strong throw by Tyler Plumpton and a caught stealing early in this ball game sends a message to those other base runners in the Welland dugout. Stealing bags tonight might not be that easy. Here's the pitch, fouled away. One ball, 2 strikes. Porcelato waggles the bat as Garces kicks and deals, and it just missed. Not by much. Frank thought he got the 3rd strike. He'll have to try it again. Home plate umpire tonight is Preston Hughes. It's Jared Merkley at first, Don Michelle at third. Here comes the crowd again. Garces is ready. Payoff pitch. And it's fouled away. That was 2-2, excuse me.
Talk about how aggressive the Jackfish are on the base pass. They are far and away the leaders in stolen bases in the IBL with 78. Next team that in second place are the Cardinals with 57, so 21 clear of the second place team.
Yeah, not only aggressive, but successful in stolen base attempts as well. They've been thrown out just 17 times. Pretty astounding numbers. You consider that they've attempted more than 100 stolen bases as a team.
And that's something that Brian Estrie really likes to have on his roster, something he goes out and pursues his athleticism on his team, and that's clearly paid off for them this year.
Another two-strike pitch coming up to Mateo Porcelato from Frank Garces. And it's a lazy pop-up behind third, and it'll drop for a base hit. Brandon Hernandez over to pick it up. Just a perfectly placed ball, not hit very hard, but far enough out of the reach of Hayden Janko as he went back.
I wonder if Hayden Janko kind of lost the ball off the bat. Looked like he had a pretty good shot at it, just given how far he was away from it. But fell right in that little triangle between third, short, and left field.
Hung up there for quite a while. Wasn't hit very hard. So one on here for the Jackfish with two out. Pair of singles. Weisner caught stealing. Porcelato now at first. And we mentioned 20 for 20 in stolen base attempts. He takes the lead here as Malik Williams holds him on, goes on the first pitch, got an incredible jump. Head first slide and plenty of time as the tag isn't there.
So impressive that he got that kind of jump off of a left-handed pitcher, especially in Garces, who's usually quick on his delivery, especially with runners on, knowing he's got to keep the runners on their toes, especially with mixing up the timing, but perfect jump.
Just a brilliant stolen base by Porcelato. This one to center field. Can he see Joe? Plenty of time. He's got it for the third out of the inning. So the Jackfish strand a runner in scoring position, and the Baycats come to bat in a scoreless tie after a half an inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Hi, I'm Christy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original two men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. Two small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
First chance up for the Baycats to add on some runs. First inning of play is brought to you by McDonald's and Barrie, home of the free fries with 5 Baycat strikeouts.
Top three for Barrie, same as we saw last time Baycats were here at home. Canisijo leading off, Brandon Hernandez batting second, and Hayden Janko due up third. Ryan Rio in the cleanup spot and DHing. Nolan Macabrota in left bats fifth. Malik Williams at first batting sixth. Adam Odd, Tyler Plumpton, and Brandon Nicholson, 7, 8, 9 for Josh Matlow's Baycats tonight.
A tough task here against the 6'8" right-hander from Georgetown, Ontario, Ben Abram, on the mound for his 10th appearance of the season, 10th start.
A hard fastball is fouled back to the screen, strike one.
Comes in at a 2.13 ERA. Every one of his starts this year has been over 7 innings of work, except the first one. That was the home opener in Welland against the Baycats back in May. He only went 5 2/3. Took the loss.
Fly ball to right field. Portulato going back, looks up, it's gone! A solo home run for Kadesi Joe, and Barrie's on the board first. Well, Kadesi Joe loves leadoff home runs. He did one in Welland at the All-Star game, and now here tonight at Vintage Throne Stadium to give Barrie first blood against Welland.
No better way for the Baycats to get the offense going again. Kadesi Joe going the other way with a long home run. It's just like Matteo Portulato just ran out of room.
Kadesi Joe really tapping into some power this season at the plate. 5 home runs now, 18 RBIs to go along with that .348 average coming into tonight's game.
6th home run allowed this year by Abram. That's the most among Jackfish pitchers.
To give you an idea, last year, Ejo, despite the outstanding season he had at the plate and on the bases and in the outfield, had just 1 home run and 16 RBIs. This one rolled into left field for a base hit. Brandon Hernandez is aboard. So 5 home runs for Ejo this season compared to just 1 last year. And he's already surpassed last year's RBI total as well.
Yeah, I think a big part of his off-season program coming back into this year was trying to put on a little bit more power into this game. He bulked up a little bit. He was coming into our media day before the season, he was noticeably bigger in terms of just pure muscle, and it's really paying off for him.
Brandon Hernandez aboard with a single. He joined the Baycats mid-season. 3 for 4 in steal attempts. Let's see if he goes with Hayden Jaco at the plate. And the first pitch gets over for a strike. I guess we still got to give you the defense for Welland. We'll do that for you after this plate appearance here by Hayden Jaco with 1 on and nobody out in the bottom of the first.
Just to go back to Ejo, not only is had the resurgent home run season, but he also leads the IBL in doubles with 13.
Popped up right side, backpedaling Steve Moretto, the first baseman. He's got it for the out. And there's 1 away in the inning.
All right, so let's give you the defense for the Welland Jackfish in the outfield. We got Ethan Hunt getting the start in left field. Gio Morello right back to his normal spot in the center field. Mateo Portulato, we saw him in right. On the infield, however, it's Jonah Weisner at third. Tower Dupuis at shortstop. Dawson Tweet back at second with Stephen Moretto at first. And Robert Mullen, regular catcher behind the plate for Ben Abram.
Ryan Rio finding his groove. He hit a game-tying home run against the Kitchener Panthers here last weekend. Swinging the bat much better after a slow start. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses through the first offering.
A little bit out in front of that one. Not to mention he had that home run last night. Kind of just another run in the 9th inning. Made it 15-3. But good sign for him. Home runs in back-to-back games.
And they picked him off. Brandon Hernandez looked like he was maybe thinking of going on that pitch, and he just couldn't get back to the bag.
Yeah, definitely some hesitation there from Brandon Hernandez. He was just looked so caught off guard there. He had no idea what to do. He couldn't make a sliding attempt to dive back to the bag. He was just caught flat-footed.
It was almost like he was sort of in that halfway point between the big secondary lead and, not really having a lead. And this one popped up to the right side of the infield, and calling for it is the second baseman, Dawson Tweet. He's got it for the out. So, quick inning as the Baycats get off the field, but not before Kadesi Joe parks one over the right center field wall. 1-0 Barrie through 1. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. To the top of the second inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Baycats on top 1-0. If you're just joining us, Kadesijo with a solo home run to lead it off in the bottom of the first for Barrie. And Welland now will send Jake Sanford, Dawson Tweed, and Steve Moretto to the plates. Sanford represented Welland in the home run derby at the IBL All-Star game a couple of weekends ago and put on quite a show in the first round, winning a matchup that I don't think anybody expected, except for maybe him. He knocked out Chatham-Kent's Seth Strong, who has been leading the IBL in home runs all season.
Yeah, definitely an IBL MVP contender, Seth Strong. So huge upset at home for Sanford. And a guy that was questionable about his success going into that derby because he had only had one home run at that point, and it was 2 days before.
Definitely gave the fans something to remember, and an afternoon I'm sure he'll remember for a long time as well. Garces wants a new baseball. He throws that one to the Baycat dugout. A little unusual. Usually the pitcher will throw it back to the catcher when he asks for a new ball, but that one Frank just threw back to his own dugout. It's like, I don't want to see that one ever again. Whatever was wrong with it. 0-2 pitch, and it's lifted foul.
Sanford, a third-round pick by the New York Yankees in 2019 out of Western Kentucky.
Pitch from Garces, and it's hit to center field. Ejo to his left makes the catch. One out in the second.
Second baseman, number 20, Dawson Tweet.
This is Dawson Tweet, the second baseman. An outstanding year, bringing a .320 average to the plate through 27 games. 3 homers, 13 RBIs. Pretty good hitter here in the middle part of the order for the Jackfish. Hits this one on the ground. To Hopper, gloved by Malik Williams. The relay to Garces covering. It's in time for the out. Good job by Frank Garces to get to the bag and cover for his first baseman.
Much closer play at first than I think he would have anticipated. Not sure if he kind of fell off the mound a little bit awkwardly and didn't have his usual speed getting over to the bag, but Malik Williams did get that ball pretty deep down that first base line on the infield.
Another ball Frank Garces didn't like. He throws it over. I'm not sure he likes that one either, but he's going to settle for it. These baseballs are always rubbed up before the game. You see the officials putting them, I don't know if it's the same mud that they use in Major League Baseball. I assume it is, or something close to
similar,
it.
Probably.
So they get those baseballs nice and ready. It's a muggy night here tonight, too, so that's the other thing. So these pitchers might be dealing with a little extra perspiration or moisture on the ball.
Yeah, definitely one of the most humid days of the summer, I'd say.
Not sure if that was the case for Frank there. This one to center field. Ejo, long way to go. He's got it though. Running to his left. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Frank Garces and the Barrie Baycats.
For the Jackfish in the second, no runs, no hits.
Through an inning and a half, it's still 1-0 Barrie on Rogers TV and Baycats TV YouTube.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Welcome back to the ballpark. It's 1-0 Baycats as we enter the bottom of the second inning, and it's brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
Nolan Macabrota having an outstanding rookie season for the Baycats is going to lead it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Malik Williams, Adam Ott, due up behind him. A 1-0 Barrie lead, each team with 2 hits. Baycats hoping to win 1, if not 2, against Welland this weekend and narrow that lead that Welland has atop the IBL standings. Barrie coming into tonight, currently in the number 2 seed. And the IBL playoff matchups, if the season were to end tonight. They met each other in the IBL Championship Series last year, and the Welland Jackfish won it in 6 games, clinching here on Barrie's home turf.
Welland clinched home field in the first round of the playoffs with the win last night in London.
This one hit hard, and a great catch by the leaping first baseman, Steve Moretto. A screamer right into the glove, and he timed that jump perfectly.
Great effort there from Steve Moretto. It didn't have to go full extension on the leap, but nonetheless, still had to make a nice jumping effort to rob a base hit from Nolan Macabrota, a guy that, like you mentioned, Ben, incredible rookie season. I think definitely a contender for Rookie of the Year in the IBL this year.
So Malik Williams will come to the plate with 1 out here in the second inning. Called strike. 9 teams in the IBL this season, so each team will have to clinch their playoff spot at some point to get in. Coming into tonight, it's the Brantford Red Sox who have dipped just behind the Toronto Maple Leafs, who had been in the number 9 spot for quite a while. Brantford really struggling, having lost 9 of 10. And they're now a half a game behind Toronto. That's going to be a battle to watch going into these final few games.
Well, we're in August now. It's definitely getting to crunch time. These two teams, Barrie and Welland, both on game 33 of a 42-game season. So it's only a matter of time, at least for these two teams, top 2 in the IBL standings, for them to clinch their playoff spots.
Pitch incoming from Ben Abram, and it's in the dirt for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Williams waggles the bat, waits for the 3-1 pitch. Here it comes, and it's on the ground. A nice leaping grab there by Josh Weisner. Long throw, plenty of time though. 2 quick outs for Ben Abram and the Jackfish.
Good corner defense on display already here for the Jackfish, and struggle of his last couple month and a bit for Malik Williams continues. Went just 8 for 48 in the month of July. That's a 167 average for a guy that last year, and a smaller sample size in the regular season, was arguably the best hitter for the Baycats, hitting over 500 in the 9 games he played in the regular season in 2023.
Odd first pitch swinging. It's a fly ball to left field. Pretty deep. Hunt going back near the wall, reaches up and he makes the catch. That ball was a lot deeper than it looked off the bat. But a catch by Hunt with just a few feet to spare. And the Baycats go 3 up, 3 down in the second inning. We played 2, still 1-0 Barrie on Rogers TV and Baycats TV.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Top of the third inning, Welland Jackfish, Barrie Baycats, and it's a 1-0 Barrie lead. Tyler Dupuis, Ethan Hunt, the 8 and 9 hitters, and then back to the top for Gio Morello.
Shortstop number 6, Tyler Dupuis.
Frank Garces, the left-hander. Having some words with the Welland dugout there, but I think it was all in good fun. I saw him smiling. Swing and a miss for a strike. Dupuis hitting .269. A 1 pitch on the ground, and it rolls foul.
Last time out against Barrie, Tyler Dupuis got the start short, was taken out mid-game because it was definitely a blowout effort by the Baycats in that win for them, but Dupuis made the most of his time. 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. Julius.
Yeah, that 13-3 score, I think, raised a lot of eyebrows. Outside part of the plate. These 2 teams battled hard. 2 pretty close scores the first 2 times they met, and then Barrie winning in convincing fashion the last time these teams met. It's the 4th of 5 regular season matchups, so as we mentioned, the last of these 5 regular season games is tomorrow in Welland.
Yeah, because of the rainouts earlier this week, Tuesday for both teams, Welland and London and Barrie and Guelph, makes the week that much more difficult.
Third baseman Hayden Jaco makes the throw in time for the out. Nice recovery. That ball popped out of his glove. Initially stayed with it. got the throw over in plenty of time. So Ethan Hunt, the number 9 hitter now.
So for Barrie, this is the second of 4 games in 4 nights. They'll be at Welland tomorrow and at Brantford Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, the Jackfish, this is the second of 5 games in 5 nights. Next 2 at home, and then they're in Kitchener on Sunday.
Yeah, not an easy stretch for either of these teams. Baycats, fortunately, haven't had to do 5 in a row yet this year, but that's the case for the Jackfish, and that string of 5 started last night. Convincing 18-0 win over the London Majors. That's how you love to start a 5 and 5.
Absolutely.
On your schedule. As for the Baycats, looking at that Saturday afternoon in Brantford, that's going to be a short turnaround for them. Coming home from Welland after a 7:20 game on Friday night, and then an early morning bus ride. I'm sure the coffee will be brewing at an early hour on that Saturday morning to get back down to Brantford for that 2 p.m. game. This one to right field, hit a long way. Brandon Nicholson back near the warning track, takes it for the out.
Well, if you look at the Baycats schedule going forward for the rest of the month, there's also 2 more stretches where they have 3 games in 3 nights, and right back at it again next weekend, starting with a home and home against the London Majors. That's going to be another one of the biggest stretches for them this year.
The nice thing when you get to the playoffs, like, the postseason rounds are never scheduled that way where you have a bunch of games clumped together.
Right.
And if you do have inclement weather, they stretch out the series accordingly. Very rare that you would be playing, 3 or certainly not 4 games in a row.
And also in the playoffs, you're going to get those dates where you're getting home games on nights you really wouldn't see home games in the regular season.
Always have to keep a close eye on the schedule in the postseason. Back to the top of the order for Gio Morello, 2 out. Frank Garces has retired 6 in a row. He's got an 0-2 count now to the leadoff man.
Yeah, still looking for his first strikeout of the evening. A little bit uncharacteristic for Garces, who was dominant in that fashion, striking Jackfish batters out last year.
0-2. Just missed, and the at-bat will continue. Frank Garces with 63 strikeouts, but unlike last season, he is not leading the Baycats in that department. It's Cesar Rosado with 75 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's Rosado tied for the league lead there with 75. Garces tied for 4th with 63.
Despite trailing Rosado in strikeouts, he has the better strikeout to walk ratio by far. 63 strikeouts, just 9 walks. Imagine that. Here we are, August 1st. Frank Garces has the walk total still in single digits.
Well, the thing with Rosado as well, he also leads the league in walks with 38. So that's a big part of his game. A lot of instances where it's 3 true outcomes.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Good at bat here by Gio Morello, battling back after being down 0-2. Here's the pitch from Garces, and it's a lazy pop-up on the infield dirt. Calling for it, and taking it is the shortstop, Brandon Hernandez, behind Hayden Jaco. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Jackfish for the 2nd time in a row. Go to the bottom of the 3rd. Barrie on top, 1-0. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from Hern and Barrie Baycats Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. The Baycats still holding on to a 1-0 lead as we enter the bottom of the third inning. It's brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Tyler Plumpton having a great season. He's leading off this bottom of the third inning. Number 8 hitter and catcher tonight. Right-hander Ben Abram deals. First pitch called strike. Good job by Abram tonight getting ahead of the count consistently. And a big key to his success all season long. A sparkling 8-1 record, 2.13 ERA. Impressive numbers as the Jackfish ace this season.
Yeah, that one loss, like I mentioned earlier, came against Barrie in Jackfish's home opener. He still went 5 2/3 in that outing.
Here's the pitch. Outside. Plumpton lays off, and it's a 1-2 count.
Abram really heavy on his fastball, and that's been key to his success, using that 6'8" frame to his advantage off that elevated mound.
Swing and a miss. Plumpton down swinging. And Brandon Nicholson will come to the plate, making his home debut in front of this crowd at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Brandon Nicholson.
Nicholson from Buffalo, New York, former member of the Welland Jackfish before going to the Hamilton Cardinals, and then now with the Barrie Baycats, made his debut last night for the Baycats, and that loss in Guelph.
Didn't get much reaction here when his name was announced. I was hoping they might give him a nice round of applause, but they don't know his name yet, but they will soon. That we are reasonably certain. High impact player, dangerous on the bases. Having a bit of an off year at the plate as far as batting average goes, but certainly know what he's capable of doing.
Well, this is a guy that you really want to get on base. Perfect for that 9 spot in the order that he's in this evening.
One of the best defensively as well. Hits this one to second. Off balance throw is in time. 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Kenny
Center
Sejo.
fielder number 9, Kenny Sejo.
And this man, the reason the score is 1-0. Kenny Sejo leading off at bottom of the first for the Baycats with a solo shot over the right center field fence. 2 for 4 last night against the Guelph Royals, 348 average coming into today. Baycats had just 8 hits against the Royals last night. Ejo had a pair of them.
With a home run in the first, extended his hit streak to 7 games now. The biggest issue for Ejo this year, yes, he's put on a little bit more power in his game like we mentioned earlier, but it's kind of translated in some extra strikeouts. 33 on the year, and he's struck out in each of his last 4 games.
It's this one hard, and it goes off the right leg of Abram. And into center field, an absolute scorcher off the bat of Ejo. Abram was not able to get out of the way.
They really had to make Abram dance to get out of the way of that one. Just perfect place to put it. It's exactly what you're taught. Go right back up the middle with it, hit it hard, and gets it through for a second hit of the game.
Hit the lower part of his leg, right on the sock, below the knee. Looks like he's okay, though, as he walked it off. And Brandon Hernandez will dig in here with 2 out and a runner on. First pitch, foul back. Ejo 12 for 16 and stolen bases this year.
Hasn't stolen the base since July 23rd. That was here against the Hamilton Cardinals, so it's been a little bit for him, considering how often he gets on base.
Dancing around out there now, does not go. Almost looked like he was daring Abram to throw over. Keep in mind, Brandon Hernandez was picked off in the first inning. Let's see if Ejo goes here on the 1-1. Takes a healthy lead. He does not, and the pitch is fouled away. Ejo last year, 26 stolen bases, was caught just twice.
He has already been caught 4 times this year.
Draws a throw, and he's back. Tag up high, right against the back of the helmet. Ejo was back in plenty of time. 1-0 Baycats, bottom of the third. Two out, 1 on. Runner goes, pitch high and tight. Here's the throw, it's high, and Ejo is underneath it with a stolen base.
Usually those high pitches would make it a little bit easier for catcher Robert Mullen to get a good throw down, but he still had to reach pretty far inside to get a hold of it. Ejo with a pretty good jump. Getting another stolen base.
2 of the best arms in the IBL behind home plate tonight. Tyler Plumpton for the Baycats and Robert Mullen for the Welland Jackfish. Ejo taking a big lead now. It's Tyler Dupuis right behind him. Swing and a miss. Hernandez strikes out. Baycats strand a runner, and we have played 3 innings. Still 1-0 Barrie on Rogers TV and Baycats TV YouTube.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
The 4th inning of play is presented by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services. At bat for the Jackfish.
Top of the 4th inning now at Vintage Throne Stadium with the Baycats on top 1-0. Jonah Weisner, Mateo Portolato, and Robert Mullen all scheduled to hit for Welland against left-hander Frank Garces. Garces is retired 7 in a row. Weisner was the first base runner for the Jackfish tonight. Didn't like that call by home plate umpire Preston Hughes. He's behind in the count here, 0-1. Pitch from Garces. It's a high fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mentioned at the top of the broadcast how hot the Welland Jackfish offense has been. That's even kind of been elevated, especially when they're on the road. As a team, they're hitting .315 in road games this year compared to just .290 at home, but even .290. It's an incredible average for your team to have.
Well, when they win, they have a knack for winning big, and they have one of the best bullpens, maybe the best bullpen in the IBL, we could say.
Brian Essery sure thinks so as well. He mentioned that to me before the game this evening.
You have to keep that in mind when you're playing Welland. It's not a good strategy to keep the score low and close going into the late innings because their bullpen will shut you down.
Absolutely.
And the Baycats ran into that a little bit early on in the IBL Championship Series. Close scores, low scores. Welland's bullpen was so effective. Baycats had trouble stringing hits together and getting some momentum in those middle and late innings.
Well, even tougher when you got a guy like Davy Mendez in the Jackfish bullpen who's so dangerous as their closer coming in tonight with 9 saves.
They're going to throw to first, and thinking that was strike 3, Plumpton went running back for the ball. Made a smart move to throw it to first just in case. And the umpires will converge here that if that's a strike, that would have been the 3rd strike.
Yeah, I think they're just going to come and gather it and talk about whether or not got a swing there from Jonah Weisner.
Weisner did not run.
I didn't hear the ball hit his bat at all. It looked like it just went off the glove of Plumpton, so smart move from him to make the throw into first just in case.
Now, if Weisner had have run like A.J. Przinsky in the 2005 World Series, he maybe could have fooled the umpires and got himself a free bag.
There you go.
I don't know if you remember that.
It's
well before your time, but maybe
I've seen it.
You've got an encyclopedic mind when it comes to baseball. So A.J. Przinsky did that on a 3rd strike, that he fooled the umpire and ran to first base.
Yeah,
that was a little bit different because the catcher rolled the ball back to the mound. It
right.
would have been the 3rd out of the inning, but this one down the line, it's a foul ball.
Mentioned how if you're the Baycats, you don't want to risk that close game in the late innings. Well, in Jackfish this year, 4-2 in 1-run games. But the Baycats 7-2.
Frank Garces kicks, deals, swing and a miss. That is strike 3, and it's Frank's first of the game. It's brought to you by IMP North.
Yeah, definitely a bit unlike Frank Garces to wait this long for the first K of the game, but really fooled Jonah Weisner on that pitch there.
Here comes Mateo Porcelato. We always go through the pronunciation guide before the game. You, me, Rob Daniels, our public address announcer, and run through all the names. And I always tell other IBL broadcasters and PA announcers, if you're confused about Mateo Porcelato's name, just think Porch Gelato.
Yeah.
Porch Gelato. It'll come out right. Porcelato. So it's a hard C, I guess is what you would say phonetically there. Frank Garces swatting some mosquitoes or some bugs around at the mound, really taking his time there, trying to get the air clear in front of him.
Well, definitely on a humid night like this, it's going to end up being a problem as we get further along in the dusk.
Porcelato hits that to left field, pretty deep, but back on it, and making the catch is the left fielder, Nolan Macabrota. Porcelato flies out to Macabrota, 2 away. So, starting the conversation, Mateo Porch Gelato, that could possibly be a concessions item at Welland Stadium. You could call it Porch Gelato.
Yep.
And serve that to the fans on a hot summer day. That sounds pretty good. Porch Gelato.
It sounds like something they would do too. Absolutely.
You have that out on the back deck while you're watching the Jackfish TV broadcast.
Perfect.
Or at the ballpark. Porch Gelato.
Yeah. Especially in these hot summer days.
So we're looking at the full roster for both teams here, trying to see if we could come up with some other concession snack ideas. I came up with the Carlos Sano cone. So you could have your choice of the Porch Gelato or the Sano cone with it.
Yeah.
Baycats are playing the Jackfish.
I said Frank's Garces. Isn't like a Frank.
Hot dog, yeah.
Yeah.
I see where you went there, yeah. The Ballpark Frank.
Exactly.
Ballpark Frank Garces, yeah. 1 strike away here, just outside, 1-2.
Well, we know the Bushmen in Toronto always call Juan Benitez Eggs Benitez.
Has anyone ever told Juan that? I'm sure he's heard it.
I'm sure he's heard it,
because
for
they
sure.
yell it, yeah. The Eggs Benitez, that's a breakfast item. Don't usually serve breakfast menu at the ballpark.
Get there
That's
early.
not bad. And the other one I liked was macabrota and cheese.
I like that.
The mac and cheese, macabrota and cheese. Foul back. So we'll have to pass along some of these ideas and see if we can get them on the menu, the ballpark menu next year. I think the fans would enjoy those.
Yeah, I agree.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Frank really taking his time here.
Comes home with it, and it's on the ground to third. Picked up by Hayden Jaco. Long throw, it's not in time. Pulled Williams off the bag. He tried to swipe tag. That ball seemed to take a long time to get to Jaco on the big hop.
Designated hitter number 13.
Fielded it cleanly, but a very long throw.
Yeah, the ball bounded so high in front of him, he had to go back to the edge of the grass on the infield to make that play cleanly. And even, with the relatively slower speed of Robert Mullen compared to the rest of his teammates, that was going to be a very close play for Jaco and very difficult to make. And even that strong throw didn't make it there in time.
Jake Sanford now. Each team with 3 hits in the game. First pitch swinging, fouls it away. We know Sanford has power. He showed us that at the home run derby. Frank Garces wants to be mindful of that and not give him anything that he can hit too deep here. Barrie hanging on to this 1-0 lead. Pitch on the way, and it's low. Sanford doesn't chase.
Yeah. He's also got a 923 OPS this year coming into the game. A 365 average. Definitely one of the top hitters in the league, let alone the Welland lineup.
1-1, fouled away. And again, Frank Garces a strike away from getting out of this inning. That single by Mullen broke a streak of 9 straight retired by Frank.
Modest lead for Mullen at first base. Don't expect him to go.
Here's the pitch. Down the line, fair ball into left field. So a base hit for Jake Sanford to keep the inning alive. Mullen to second, and there's 2 on with 2 out for Dawson Tweet.
The second baseman, number 20.
Well, he couldn't ask for a better placed ball off the bat of Jake Sanford. It didn't look like the Baycats defense on the left side there was expecting a ball to go the opposite field, but perfectly placed right down the line. Diving Hayden Jaco had no shot at it.
Well placed and hit hard enough that despite a great dive by Jaco, he couldn't come up with it. A busy inning at the hot corner for Hayden Jaco here. And Garces now will take on Dawson Tweet with 2 on and 2 out here in the 4th inning. Frank Garces, his first real jam of this game with a runner in scoring position now. A called strike. Tweet 0 for 1. Grounded out to Malik Williams. On a nice play by Frank Garces covering the bag in the top of the 2nd inning. Swings and fouls it back to the screen, and now it's 0-2. Frank getting ahead of these Welland hitters here and getting 2 strikes on them.
This is exactly where Frank Garces wants Dawson Tweet. This Tweet really struggles with some breaking balls, and this is the perfect count for Garces to bring it out.
0-2 pitch. It's low and away, and Tweet showing some good patience. Garces ready with a 1-2. Fouled away. Another ball hit to the left side.
And despite the location of that pitch, Dawson Tweet put a great swing on that to stay alive and foul it off.
Yeah, the left-handed hitters have been hitting a lot of balls to the left side here tonight, especially in this 4th inning.
Well, Tweet much more of a pull hitter, especially on the ground.
Mullen at second, Sanford at first. Garces checks the runner, kicks, steals, and it's a fly ball out on the outfield grass, and it's caught by the shortstop, Brandon Hernandez. So the Jackfish strand two as Frank Garces gets out of a jam. Barrie comes back to the plate, up 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning. You're watching Rogers TV Barrie and Baycats TV.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the fourth inning, the heart of the order for the Baycats coming up in this inning. It's brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services.
Great crowd on hand at Vintage Throne Stadium on this sweltering hot Thursday night, the 1st of August. Here we are, midsummer games, and just a handful of games on the regular season schedule for both of these clubs as we get set for the opening round of the playoffs in just a few weeks. And the final time we'll see the Welland Jackfish here at Vintage Throne Stadium in the regular season. Of course, a playoff matchup would be thrilling as it was last year. These teams 1 and 2 in the standings coming into tonight.
And we all know about the rivalry that really developed more so last year and it's carried over into this year again, especially with these teams meeting in the finals last year. Definitely could be something we can expect later on in September.
Jaco checked his swing, according to the first base umpire, Jared Merkley. Baycats didn't finish second in the standings last season, but they got to the finals, winning their first 2 playoff rounds and found the first place Welland Jackfish right there.
The Baycats lost their last 2 games of the regular season and fell behind to the Kitchener Panthers, who got ahead of them for that second place spot.
Yeah, it was a close race right down to the wire for those playoff positions right behind Welland.
Welland got so far ahead at the end of July and the beginning of August that they had clinched the pennant fairly early and actually clinched it on this field. That first pennant in franchise history.
I had forgotten about that. Of course, we all remember they won the championship here. I forgot they clinched the pennant here as well. They're trying to do the same thing here in 2024. Jaco hits this to short. Should be an easy play for Tyler Dupuis, and it is. 1 away. Jackfish lead the Baycats by 4 games, 25-7. Barrie at 21-11. So 4 wins ahead of the Baycats. Both teams have played 32 games. London 2 games now behind the Baycats, but they have 2 games in hand on both of these clubs. And the Guelph Royals also 6 games back, and they also have 2 games back. So London and Guelph statistically tied for that number 3 spot behind Barrie.
Which makes next weekend's home and home against the majors much more important for the Barrie Baycats.
And then you got quite a bit of separation right now between the top 4 and the bottom 4. Chatham, Kent, Hamilton, Toronto, Kitchener. We mentioned Brantford in last place by a half a game now. Half a game behind Kitchener. Toronto starting to play a little bit better, climb out of that number 9 spot.
I would argue that the biggest story in the IBL, at least in this month, as we approach the end of the regular season, is going to be that, race to get out of the basement of the league. Whoever's, those teams fighting to stay in that playoff hunt.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting because elimination is at stake. It's like a playoff game when you get down to those final few games. And I haven't looked at the schedule yet to see who's playing who that final weekend, but you got Toronto, Kitchener, and Brantford that are all going to be battling probably for that last ticket to the postseason. Going to be some interesting games to watch, unlike last season and previous years where all 8 teams made the playoffs, and those last few games wouldn't have meant much. In fact, most teams would probably be resting their players for the first round. Not so this year.
Well, with Brantford just a half game out, it looks like it's really going to come down to the wire, and the penultimate game of the regular season for the Baycats is actually in Brantford. That's Friday the 16th. So that could be an important game for both squads, depending how it shakes out at the top of the standings for Barrie as well.
1 out, we're in the 4th. Abram to Rio, and it's hit up the middle to center field. It's a base hit. Ryan Rio continues to swing the hot bat.
Left fielder number 20, Nolan McEnroe.
Yeah, look, he caught a high changeup and put it right back up the middle. Rio's really struggled this year on inside pitches, especially on breaking balls, and made sure to take advantage of the ones he sees a little bit outside of his comfort zone.
Both the Baycats and the Jackfish have won 7 of their last 10, but it's Welland with a 4-game winning streak coming into tonight. Baycats had their momentum interrupted in a big way by the Guelph Royals last night at David E. Hastings Stadium, falling by a score of 15-3. Foul back to the screen, strike 1.
And the interesting part about last night's game, too, is they faced Yuki Narita again. That was his 3rd start against the Baycats this year. Baycats having won the second of those first 2 starts, but Narita was, again, another 6-inning gem from him.
And I saw that Cush came on in relief.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting combination, having those 2 go back-to-back.
Cush yet to pitch on the road this year. All of his outings have been in Guelph at Hastings Stadium. I think that's just coincidental, but...
Is he afraid of bus rides, maybe?
Just an interesting tidbit. Let's see how he... Depending on how his starts, get scheduled out in the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see how he does on the road.
I'm not sure in baseball, but I know in hockey there have been players that have had issues with traveling. We laugh about it, but it's actually a very serious thing. I think it was Alexander McGillney, or it might have been another Russian player, right around that time, had trouble with flying, was unable to fly to games, and was only able to play if he could get there on the ground, a train or a bus or whatever. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know this, but John Madden, legendary broadcaster in the NFL, former Super Bowl winning head coach of the Raiders, had a fear of flying. So he would always take a train or a car or a bus to all of his games that he was calling.
I'm trying to remember who the Russian hockey player was now.
I think it was McGillney. I feel like I've heard that before.
But McGillney, I'm sure he played road games. I'm sure he did. But they must have just been ones within the division or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, because that was the new park. That was the new park of the Expos.
But I feel like I've heard that he had a fear of flying, though. I feel like I had heard that before.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Nolan Macabrota. One on, 1 out. Rio, probably not a threat to steal, but they're holding him on anyways. Here's the pitch. It's inside.
Just keeping him honest, especially with 2 out, you want to know for sure if you get a ground ball, and the middle infielders, they can have an easier play at second and a bit of an easier turn as they get on to first. Macabrota, obviously a much better runner than Rio.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Abram to the belt, kicks, deals. On the ground, through into right field. Rio will have to hold at second. 2 on for the Baycats now in the bottom of the 4th inning with back-to-back hits.
Just a really hard hit ball there from Macabrota, 1 hopper through into right field. And all of a sudden here, the Baycats got a little bit of momentum, back-to-back hits, and opportunity for Malik Williams to cash in.
Malik Williams 0 for 1 tonight. Got the average at 257 through 22 games. Last year, Williams played just 9 games, but hit .567 for the Baycats. They've been able to get him in the lineup more often this year. An extended tenure here in Barrie.
Well, it seemed like every time Malik Williams is up in the regular season last year, he was cashing in on runners in scoring position. It always just happened to fall to him.
Big moment for him here with 2 base runners on. 1 out of the inning. Here's the pitch, and it's a ground ball to short. Could be 2. They go to second for 1. The relay to first, and it is a double play. 6-4-3 to get Malik Williams and end the bottom of the 4th inning. Barrie still up 1-0 over the Jackfish. Julius up to call innings 5 and 6 when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Top of the 5th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Barrie Baycats lead the Welland Jackfish by a score of 1-0. It'll be the bottom third of the Jackfish order to face Frank Garces, starting with Steven Moretto.
Number 15.
Moretto flew out to center field his first time out. That was in the 2nd inning. First pitch from Garces, in there for strike 1. And that's something that Frank Garces really thrives on. Getting that first pitch strike is so important to him. Fouled off on the right side. About 71% of the time, Frank Garces is going to throw a first pitch strike, and that leads the IBL. Garces really taking his time with a windup. On the ground, up the middle and through for a base hit. Right through the feet of Frank Garces. Jackfish got a leadoff man on.
The shortstop, number 6, Tyler Dupuis.
So I'll bring up Tyler Dupuis, also 0 for 1. Let off the third with a ground out. First time all evening the leadoff man's been on for Welland against Frank Garces. First pitch to Dupuis, bunted foul towards the Baycats dugout. Hayden Jacob was really charging in there from third base. Moretto had a decent lead there at first base, being held on by Williams. That's 3 stolen bases this year, hasn't been caught yet. Dupuis shows bunt again, pulls back, but it's called a strike.
Always love talking to the kids when I'm out walking around during the game between innings, and I want to say a shout out to the Midland Twins who are here tonight, wearing their bright red baseball jerseys. Great to see these kids representing their local teams
Absolutely.
when they come to the park. And we've got some Innisfil Cardinals here tonight as well, so shout out to them.
A couple different Cardinals teams, it looks like, too.
And one of the players on the Midland Twins, I didn't catch her name, but she pointed out to me that her dad, who is here tonight apparently, is an original Barrie Baycat, Matt Van Gene, who longtime Baycat fans will remember. So
that's awesome.
Always cool having former Baycats come back to the ballpark. Of course, we had a bunch of them here when we had numbers retired a couple of weeks ago.
Cut on and missed. Second strikeout of the evening for Frank Garces. Brought to you by IMP North.
For any of the fans who might have missed that ball game, 4 Baycat numbers were retired. Angus Roy's number 31, Jeff Cowan's number 42, Ryan Spataro's number 16, and Brad Bissell's 24. All 4 of those numbers are right above us here on the broadcast booth, above the press box. So if you come to the game, you'll see their names and numbers.
You mentioned Brad Bissell and bring up the Midland Twins as well. I'm pretty sure Brad Bissell coaches his son's team in Midland.
Wow, he might be here tonight too. Who knows?
Never know.
Good crowd here on hand. Wouldn't surprise me.
This might be our best Thursday night crowd of the season.
Absolutely. No threat of rain tonight, so that definitely helped.
0-1 here on Ethan Hunt, the number 9 hitter. Another modest lead from Moretto at first. Pitch from Garces on the ground is short. It's going to be 2. Hernandez steps on the bag himself, hesitates on to first. They still get him. 6-3 double play for the Baycats as they get out of the top of the 5th inning unscathed. We'll head to the bottom half. They look to add on to a 1-0 lead right here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Fans from Hern and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Baycats coming to bat here. Bottom of the 5th inning we go at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by Phaetrum, aluminum and siding, quality above all else.
Bottom of the 5th inning here, the Baycats still lead the Welland Jackfish 1-0. I'm Julius Hern along with Ben Davy, Brian Backland, our producer. Adam Odd to lead it off for the Baycats. 7, 8, and 9 due up. It'll be Tyler Plumpton and Brandon Nicholson after him. Ben Abrams still on the mound. 5th inning of work for him. The big righty with his first pitch is driven deep to right field. Back goes Borchelato, and it is gone. First pitch swinging and a no-doubter from Adam Odd. 2-0 Baycats.
Well, Adam Odd is barreling up that baseball tonight. He hit another ball really deep to the other side of the ballpark. A deep fly ball to left field in his last plate appearance. That one stayed up. This one did not. A moonshot and a bat flip, and that's got to feel good for Adam Odd as he's trying to get back on track here in this second half.
Well, it's been first pitch fastball seemingly all night from Ben Abram in that big frame. He's got all that elevation working to his advantage, but Adam Ott really caught that one up high at chest level. Like I mentioned, there was no doubt about that one right off the bat.
You know, both Adam Ott and Ryan Rio really struggled in the first half to get things going as far as their own production numbers are concerned, and both have had big nights at the plate here recently.
Little looper in the left field, little drop for a base hit. Tyler Plumpton stringing some hits together for the Baycats. First two-man reach.
Ryan Rio had a game-tying home run against Kitchener here last weekend. Adam Ott with a big home run here tonight. And if these guys can bring some power to the plate, the way the rest of the lineup has been going, this is going to be one potent postseason offense for the Barrie Baycats.
Well, the Welland Jackfish lead the IBL in home runs with 42. Barrie coming into this one with just 24. Power was a big part of the Baycats game last year as Nicholson shows bunts. Pitches outside as he pulls back.
You wouldn't have expected at the start of the season that it would be Ryan Rio and Adam Ott that would have the slow first half if you were to look at the lineup up and down, but that's a real testament to the rest of the lineup and the
Absolutely.
depth that's there. The way that everybody else has really been able to carry the club.
Nicholson shows bunt again. Goes through with a strike. It's 1-1. You just look at this lineup on paper night after night, and even with guys like Ryan Rio and Adam Ott, kind of lower in the order than they were last year, it just really complements the rest of the lineup. Ryan Rio back in his usual cleanup spot tonight, but you got a guy like Adam Ott in the 7th spot. Really says something about the depth. Nicholson shows bunt again. It's another strike as he can't make contact.
One of the best bunters in the league, and he's getting that opportunity right here at his home debut at Vintage Throne Stadium with the Baycats. Did a lot of that for many years when he was with the Welland Jackfish.
Well, he won't be showing bunt here, it doesn't look like. Defense back to regular depth. The 1-2 from Abram is outside. Nicholson still looking for his first hit as a Baycat. 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 1 so far as he pops this one up. Foul territory, but playable. Over to make the catch is Steven Moretto. Out number 1.
Center fielder number 9, Kenny Sejo.
We saw the leadoff home run in this inning from Adam Ott. The man who led off the game for the Baycats with a home run is this man, Kenny Sejo. 2 solo homers have the Baycats out in front, 2-0 on Ben Abrams' Jackfish. Decent lead from Plumpton. That first base doesn't go. First pitch is a breaking ball outside.
Well, one thing you and I have in common, Julius, is both of us seem intrigued by baseball symmetry, and we've had some of that in this game here tonight. In the first inning, each team had a base runner that was thrown out. Jonah Weisner caught stealing, and Brandon Hernandez picked off on the bases in the first. Both teams had a pair of singles in the 4th inning and couldn't score in either inning. And both the top of the 5th and the bottom of the 5th ended with a double play. So there's 3 things at least, that kind of match on both sides of your scorebook today.
Both teams also have 2 strikeouts. Another one outside from Abram. It's 2-1.
Baycats with the only scoring, though, and a pair of home runs. Solo shots by Ejo, and now Adam Ott here in this 5th inning.
Abram comes set. 2-1 to Ejo. Another one just outside, 3-1.
Nice to get a little bit of insurance with that home run by Adam Ott, but you still don't feel like a 2-0 lead is safe against this Jackfish club, especially with their bullpen being so effective. You're not going to get a lot of scoring in the late innings, more than likely, against those arms in the bullpen.
3-1 pitch is up and in, so a walk to Kenny Sejo puts 2 on for the Baycats with 1 out. I'll bring up Brandon Hernandez. Robert Mullen and Steve Moretto out to talk to Ben Abram as a couple arms start to get a little bit warm in the Welland Jackfish bullpen.
Well, you mentioned earlier how deep Ben Abram has gone in ball games for the Jackfish this season, and still only in the 5th. So you have to think that they're more than likely still hoping to get a couple of innings out of him as effectively as he's pitched.
I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, only one of his previous 9 starts this season were less than 7 innings in length, and that one was the Jackfish's home opener back in May against these Barrie Baycats. That same outing also turned out to be the only loss that Ben Abram has on his record this year, coming in at an 8-1 record. 8 wins lead the IBL this year so far.
So 7 innings or more in all but 1 start. That is impressive.
2 on here for Brandon Hernandez. The first pitch is grounded foul. A nice catch by a fan over there at the bleachers on that bounding ball.
Yeah, nice catch. It was on a hop, but yeah, they gloved it cleanly right into the glove. Right, you got to have your glove on at all times if you're going to sit down that left field line or the right field line.
You never know when you're going to be the one making the play.
No screen over there, so.
That went inside on Hernandez, 1-1. Also mentioned this earlier. It seems like this game, it's going to be whatever team gets the big inning offensively is going to be the one in the driver's seat for sure. Happened with Welland last night, a huge 9-run 4th inning in London. And last night the Baycats got blown up in the 4th. Well, looper, line drive, the third, it's caught and thrown on to first to second for a double play. Plumpton didn't freeze. He broke to third base as Jonah Weisner made the catch, an easy throw on to second to end the inning. But the Baycats add 1 on. Adam Ott with a huge solo home run to lead it off. We head to the 6th inning. 2-0 Baycats on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Inning number 6 here at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Baycats lead the Jackfish by a score of 2-0 on 2 solo home runs by Kinesijo and Adam Ott, respectively. And it'll be back to the top of the order for the Jackfish against Frank Garces, who will face them for the 3rd time this evening, starting with Gio Morello.
We were talking about this off air. 3 straight inning-ending double plays going back to the top of the 4th.
You don't see that every day, that's for sure.
Top of the 5th, excuse me.
Yeah. All in different fashion, too. Baycats ended their last 2 bottom half of the frames, 6-4-3 and then a 5-4. Meanwhile, the Jackfish in the 5th ended on a 6-3 double play.
That was a really nice play there by Jonah Weisner on that soft line drive, making the catch and then having the presence of mind to go to second base, where they nabbed Tyler Plumpton, who had come too far off the bag.
Oh, drag bunt attempt there from Morello, goes foul.
And that's a tough one for Plumpton, too, because that ball's on the ground or it gets through.
I wonder if he thought it was on the ground.
Probably would have.
Because it definitely looked like off the bat it could have been a ball that bounded directly in front of the plate and had that long hop. But that wasn't the case. It was just a soft liner. Crowd getting into it here on a 1-2 count for Frank Garces. Just 2 strikeouts on his outing so far. One-two delivery. On the ground to second, Adam Odd. Nice snare there, on to first. Quickly in time there to get Morello, who made that play much closer than expected.
Third baseman number 4, Jonah Weisner.
It's 1 down here in the 6th, 2-0 Baycats. I'm going to bring up Jonah Weisner, who's 1 for 2, a single in the 1st inning and a strikeout in the 4th. First pitch from Garces. Called strike. Weisner in his last 5 games had a hit in all those games and was 12 for 18 in that stretch. One of the hottest hitters in the league. 0-1 up high, and Weisner one of the biggest contributors to the run totals that we've seen from the Jackfish in the last week or so.
Well, this is one of the most dangerous lineups in the IBL, no question about that. I mean, you can put them toe-to-toe with these Barrie Baycats, top to bottom.
In 4 of their last 5 games, they put up double-digit runs, including a 23-5 win in Brantford last weekend.
And that just really highlights how impressive this string of shutout innings has been for Frank Garces here tonight, working into the 6th inning. Does not have a complete game this year, but the Baycats have had one Achilles heel. It has been the bullpen. No issues with these starters at all. Frank Garces with a 1.88 ERA coming into today. Cesar Rosado at 2.34. Juan Benitez not far behind him at 2.42. All 3 Baycat starting pitchers with ERAs of under 2.5.
Garces getting ready for a 2-2, and the crowd really getting into it again. Looking for a K here. Here it is. 2-2. Fouled off. Weisner stays alive. There's definitely an argument to be made for the Baycats this year that they have the best starting rotation in the IBL this year, but maybe the worst bullpen in the league this year.
Yeah, you'd have to take a really close look. I mean, there are several teams that have really struggled pitching-wise this season, but fortunately for the Baycats, the earned run total hasn't been too bad because of how strong the starting pitching has been.
Slow delivery from Garces and a 2-2. Another foul off there for Jonah Weisner.
Yesterday was kind of what managers sometimes call a quote-unquote bullpen game, with Braden Pakala starting and Adam Kahn coming in relief. Neither of them were effective last night, and those are bullpen arms in normal situations. So there have not been a lot of reliable arms in that Baycat bullpen. Newcomer Ryan Lacasse has come in, has done well at times.
You could argue he's been the best arm.
Carlos Sano has been kind of moved into a closer role, we expect. So
seems to suit him as of right now, for sure.
The key is the middle relief arms getting him the lead in the 9th inning.
Another 2-2 to Jonah Weisner. Inside, it's a full count.
And that's why against these Welland Jackfish, you want to get more than a 2-0 lead into the late innings if you can.
Baycats coming into this game with a 3.99 team ERA. That's 3rd in the IBL, behind Welland and then Guelph, who lead with a 3.34. Full count pitch is just low and outside. So walk for Jonah Weisner on a strong at-bat from him. Fouling off a lot of pitches to stay alive and earn him that free pass.
I mentioned that team ERA just a hair below 4 earned runs per game, which is certainly good. But if you were to do the math and break that down, starters versus relievers, you would see a very, very significant discrepancy.
Absolutely. So that'll bring up Mateo Porcelato, 1 for 2 in this game already. Singled and stole a base in the first. Malik Williams holding on. Weisner at first and a throw over. Weisner dives back in.
Baycats have a right-hander throwing right now. Looks like Ryan Lacasse, but I can't be sure. Can't see the number there.
Called strike on Porcelato. That is Brendan Hillier throwing in the Baycats bullpen, and I know that he's in a break glass in case of emergency role tonight. Still recovering from a knee injury that he suffered a couple weeks ago in Guelph, but he's throwing off of flat ground, and pickoff attempt at first. Going at the second is Weisner, and he's out at second.
What a great strong throw by Malik Williams at first base. He threw that one on a rope and had to with the speedy Jonah Weisner more than halfway to the bag.
Got a good jump, but with the lefty Garces on the mound, he really got to time it out perfectly, and Garces smartly threw it over to first, and well-executed play from Malik Williams, and then on the other end, Brandon Hernandez at short. So 0-1 here with nobody on now for Porcelato as he fouls that one off back to the screen.
Well, the more I see Malik Williams at first base, the more I just really feel like that is a good spot for him defensively,
Absolutely.
at least
I
right
agree.
now. And he's played a lot of left field, a lot of third base. Of course, Nolan Macabrota, very good first baseman as well. He's in left field tonight. Wonder if we'll see more of this.
0-2 is cut on and missed. That's an IMP North strikeout to end the inning for the Baycats. Still a 2-0 lead for Barrie as we head to the bottom half of the 6th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Baycats and Jackfish at Vintage Throne Stadium as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's brought to you by Moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving, making moving stress-free for over 35 years.
Julius, Hern, Ben, Davy, our entire Baycats TV crew here at Vintage Throne Stadium, and a 2-0 Barrie Baycats lead Over the Jackfish, Ben Abram back out to work his 6th inning of work tonight against the Baycats, and Hayden Jacob will lead it off in his 100th career IBL game. First pitch is top of the zone for a called strike.
Brian Backland and Sam McCoy spinning the dials behind us tonight. Shout out to them. Lucas Fleming as well.
Long delivery here from Abram. It's popped up and foul out of play by Jacob.
It is also Cram the Ram and Jam the Jeep night here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Saw those big vehicles parked out in front of the ballpark at the entrance, and fans were bringing items to donate tonight. Thanks to Barrie Chrysler for supporting that this year.
Well, you know what they say, you can't win if you don't play.
Always great to give back to people in the community, and they do a great job with that.
Seeing some of the social posts they've had throughout this week, donating a lot of school supplies ahead of the new school year in September is a nice block there by Robert Mullen, but 1-2 here on Jaco now.
Hate to say the S word on August the 1st.
I know, right?
But you walk around the stores and the school supplies are out already.
Yeah.
Kids starting to think about that already. It's hard to believe how fast summer goes.
Wind up from Abram. Line drive at the center field, but right at Gio Morello. Makes a catch for out number 1.
We've got Fan Appreciation Night coming up in 2 weeks. That is the, I believe, the regular season finale here at home against the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. So that's another night to circle on your calendar. We only got a few home games left here in the 2024 season before hitting the playoffs. So Fan Appreciation Night is always a great opportunity to come out, win some prizes. We've got extra fun things for the fans as we wrap up the home schedule. I guess that's the second last game.
Yeah, it's the last Thursday home game.
We've got Hamilton here on this Saturday that follows.
First pitch to Ryan Rio is a big swing and a miss.
3 home games left after tonight. How about
Crazy.
that?
Season's gone by so fast.
London next weekend, and then Chatham, Kent, and Hamilton to wrap it up. I mean, we had 4 home games in 1 week last week with rescheduled games.
Yeah.
And that was a crazy stretch of the schedule. We were here on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. 4 games in 1 week here. And then the Baycats had a road game in Hamilton in the midst of all that as well.
Yeah, really coming down to some tough stretches at the end of the season. Curveball in there for a called strike 3. Rio goes down for the first time on a strikeout this evening.
Yeah, the second half of the schedule is always a blur, and then it's over. And it just ends so quickly, and the playoffs are here before you know it. And weather's certainly a big reason for that. A lot of postponed games in the first half, getting crammed into these final few weeks.
To make that 8 straight games with a strikeout for Ryan Rio. Kind of an illustration of how his season's gone, despite some recent resurgence with his power. But 2 out now for Nolan Macabrota. Sees the first pitch low. Macabrota had a base hit in the 4th, but was caught in the inning-ending double play. 1-0. Another big swing from him, a home run cut. Waves through it for strike 1.
Abram does not seem to lose any velocity in the late innings. In fact, if anything, it almost seems like he's dialing it up a little more.
That's the best strategy for a pitcher. You really want to save that extra little bit of velocity and energy for later in your outing. Breaking ball curves in for a called strike 2.
And then you get that big variance, that big speed variance. I mean, you still got some velo on the fastball. You can drop the breaking ball like he just did.
Well, that's the thing when you have used all of your sequencing options against these hitters, the more time you see them. This is a ground ball through on the right side for a base hit. Macabrota keeps the inning alive with his second hit of the game.
First baseman number 29,
But as you go further in your outing, you use a lot of your different sequencing options. The only real thing you can change from that on is to change up your velocity, and that's when you really start going a little bit harder as much as you can. That's why you save that for later innings.
A little bit of movement in the Welland bullpen, but nobody's really throwing right now, so there are bodies down there, but they're going to ride Ben Abram as deep into this ball game as they can.
A couple bodies getting loose and stretching as Abram tries to shut down Malik Williams here to get out of the 6th. The 1-0. Another one outside.
Closer Davy Mendez has 9 saves this season.
It's another incredible year for him. Had a sparkling perfect ERA last year.
0.62 ERA this season. Not a guy you want to see late in the ball game if you're down a run or two.
2-0 is on the ground to short. Dupuis goes the easy way to second to end the inning on the fielder's choice. Baycats still lead this one 2-0 as we head to the 7th inning. Ben Davy back on the mic to call it for you the rest of the way on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from Hern and Barrie Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Julius, Hern, and Ben Davy at the ballpark, Vintage Throne Stadium, Springwater Township. Welland Jackfish here for the final time in the regular season, trailing the Baycats 2-0. These teams will square off in a rematch tomorrow at Welland Stadium. It's a 7:20 first pitch. Get there early if you're heading down. You know what Friday long weekend traffic is like. We got a taste of Thursday long weekend traffic here in Barrie today. Absolute nightmare on the 400 both directions early in the day too, but fortunately everybody got here safely and on time.
Yeah, tomorrow's game in Welland, a reschedule from a rain out earlier in July.
Called strike for Frank Garces. Yeah, Friday afternoon traffic on the QEW, never usually a walk in the park.
I was talking to Alec Murray, the play-by-play guy of the Jackfish, and he was telling me that the Jackfish left just after 2 o'clock from Welland today and got here at 6:15. That's how bad the traffic was, especially on the Skyway between Burlington and Hamilton.
Well, the real problems earlier in the day were between Mapleview Drive and Innisfil Beach Road, but sometimes even getting to that point can take an eternity. I heard that part of the 403 was closed today as well, too. Fortunately, no games in Brantford tonight. Not a good day traffic-wise around southern Ontario. On the ground, down the line, it's a fair ball. Past Adamant into left field. Robert Mullen leads off the 7th with a base hit.
It's the second time we've seen that style of base hit from the Jackfish this evening. Earlier it was Jake Sanford in the 4th inning. Another great way to lead off the inning for the Jackfish. Robert Mullen getting on with a leadoff base hit.
One other game in the IBL tonight. It's at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener, the Royals and the Panthers. So Frank Garces with a runner on, nobody out. Working to Jake Sanford, and he hits this one deep. Right center field. It'll drop, and it'll go off the wall. And they're going to wave Mullen around third. Here's the throw and the relay. And that gets by Tyler Plumpton. In to score is Robert Mullen. And the Jackfish are within a run.
Well, Adamant on the relay there had a great shot to get Robert Mullen, who was only about a third of the way down that third base line, heading to home plate by the time Odd got the ball. A 3-hopper to Tyler Plumpton. That last one looked like it just hit the lip of the grass out in front of that circle that surrounds home plate. Had no shot, Tyler Plumpton, to pick that one. Just a wicked hop, getting right back to the backstop, which allows Sanford to get all the way to third.
The throw was right on the mark, but the ball getting by Plumpton on the hop, as you mentioned. He comes down with that, and that tag would have been right there. So that breaks the shutout streak of innings for Frank Garces, with the Jackfish on the board, 2-1 Barrie now, and the tying run 90 feet away at third base.
Well, on that play, I wonder if Tyler Plumpton was standing to try and receive that ball, if it would have been, he would have gotten in front of it a little bit better. He was still kind of crouched down on his knees to try and make the tag.
Dawson Tweet lifts one foul. Tweet today 0 for 2, biggest at bat of the night for him right here, right now. Malik Williams with 1 foot on the grass. Foul back to the screen. It's an important base runner at third base right now.
Well, we've been mentioning it all night. Baycats, if they want to come away with a win here, they really got to get out of these close games and late innings. Now just a 1-run lead. They're going to try and cut this runner down at home plate if they're going to get a ground ball.
Crowd behind Frank Garces here with his 1-2 count. Pitch to Tweet. Just missed off the plate. It's 2-2. Preston Hughes has not been so generous on the corners tonight, both ways. Infielders a couple of steps in here. They'll try to cut off that run at home if they can. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Garces to Tweet. On the ground, weakly, foul. And the count holds.
Well, Sanford broke on contact there. Surely there would have been a play at home if that was fair and Malik Williams had a play on it.
Tweet, the number 6 hitter, bottom third of the order behind him, Moretto, Dupuis, and Hunt. Garces looks in. Comes home with the 2-2. And another pitch just misses. Not sure if that was high or outside, one of the two, but it keeps the at-bat alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Looked like that same pitch that got a similar reaction earlier in the at-bat. Just missed on that outside lower part of the plate.
Now, if you're Frank Garces, you want to be careful here not to be too perfect with this 3-2 pitch. Tweet gets a hold of one. Three-2 on the way. Fouled away. Tweet didn't like it, got a piece, keeps the at-bat alive.
Jackfish hitting .296 coming into this game with runners in scoring position.
tying run at third. It's Jake Sanford, his RBI, making this a 2-1 game, bringing in Robert Mullen. Still nobody out in the inning. Payoff pitch from Garces. Fouled back again. What an at-bat here for Dawson Tweet. Laying off two very close pitches and now fouling off a couple with a full count.
Just goes to show like the resilience and determination of this Jackfish lineup. We saw a similar at-bat with Jonah Weisner last inning. Ended up drawing a walk.
Two-one Baycats were in the seventh. Garces really taking his time. To the belt. And he deals. And it's a line drive to left center field. It'll drop. We have a 2-2 tie. An RBI single for Dawson Tweet. What an at-bat.
Well, you can't fault Garces all that much for the result of that at-bat. There's only so much you can do when the at-bat gets to that kind of stage on a full count and so many balls have been fouled off. But just a great effort there from Dawson Tweet to stay alive and make the most of it. Let's see Brad Grieveson warming up in the Baycats bullpen now.
Swing and a foul tip into the glove. Steve Moretto, the home run cut there. Well, when the Jackfish do beat Barrie, more often than not, this kind of seems to be how they do it. They nickel and dime you, keep the score close and low to the late innings. Baycats haven't even gone to the bullpen yet, and they're clawed their way back to a 2-2 tie. Steve Moretto, 1 for 2 today. Runner at first is Tweet. He has speed, does not go, and a swing and a miss. So now Garces ahead, no balls, 2 strikes.
Garces coming into this game, opponents hitting just .210 off him with runners in scoring position.
Tweet is 9 for 12 in steals, and he draws a throw. Malik Williams playing him on the bag.
A cautious lead over at first from Tweet, especially with the lefty Garces on the mound. Now he takes another stride or two over.
Pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great pitching duel here tonight between Frank Garces and Ben Abram. And it's brought us to a 2-2 tie here on the top of the 7th. Runner goes, and it's a high fly ball deep left field. Back is Macabrota, no chance. That's a 2-run homer, and the Jackfish have their first lead of the night. Steve Moretto with a bomb, and he circles the bases. And the Jackfish on top by a pair.
The shortstop, number 6, Tyler DeQueen.
9th home run of the season for Steve Moretto, and he just caught a perfect just outside part of the plate changeup from Garces. Got the sweet spot of the bat on that one.
They'll be looking for that baseball on the south side of Highway 26. And there are kids running around looking for it actually as we speak. Stay away from the road. To right field. Long sprint in. Nicholson takes it for the out. 1 down in the inning. Oh, it seemed to take an awful long time just to get that first out.
Yeah, first 4 runners go single, double, single, and then a home run. The first 4 hitters of the inning all scoring. Very uncharacteristic inning for Frank Garces.
Mullins, Sanford, Tweet, and Moretto doing the damage for the Jackfish here in this top of the 7th. Middle part of the order. And this one down the line, it's a foul ball. And the Jackfish now out hitting the Baycats as well, 9-8. Swing and a miss. Good fastball by Frank Garces.
Well, the last time the Jackfish were here was a 13-3 Barrie win, but Welland still able to put up 12 hits in that game. And look at their game yesterday, an 18-0 win in London, put up 16 hits.
Foul ball.
But really stringing them together here in the 7th.
If you listen close, you can hear the crickets in the Baycats bullpen. Nobody throwing. It's Frank Garces versus the world here in the 7th inning. He's allowed 4. And still just 1 out here on the top of the 7th. Fly ball, center field. Ejo to his right, reaches up, makes the catch. Couple of flyouts here.
Well, I think
and back to the top of the order.
I think the idea with sitting Brad Grieveson back down again is after that home run, you're giving Garces a clean slate again with nobody on base. The idea with having Grieveson, throwing there was to be if he would come in with runners on, I think.
Well, obviously, manager Josh Matlow believing that Garces still has something left to give here in this 7th inning. It unraveled in a hurry, though, after 6 brilliant shutout innings. This one bunted to third. Odd with the throw. It's in time for the out. Jaco, at third base, making a great throw across the diamond, and that will do it. But the Jackfish score 4, and it is a 4-2 Welland lead now as we head to the bottom of the 7th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Coming out of the 7th inning stretch here at Vintage Throne Stadium, the Baycats trying to claw back, now down 4-2 to the Welland Jackfish. The 7th inning brought to you by Psycho Solutions, full automotive service from headlight to tailpipe.
Baycats trailing for the first time today. It's a 4-2 Jackfish lead, a 4-run 7th. Baycats starter Frank Garces, and now Barrie back to bat. Try to draw even or pull back on top again here. Bottom third of the order. Adam Odd, Tyler Plumpton, Brandon Nicholson.
Well, the last time Adam Odd let off an inning, it was the 5th inning, a first pitch bomb off of Ben Abram.
Big cut and a miss there, strike 1. And your first Baycats home run call of the year, so congratulations on that.
I think it was about time.
Boy, we've been waiting for you to break out of that slump.
Well, right there, Ben Abram went with the breaking ball instead of the fastball in the first pitch. There's a fastball.
Called strike. No balls, 2 strikes to Adam Odd. 2 home runs for the Baycats tonight, but both with the bases empty. Ejo and Odd. They've had 8 hits tonight. Odd hits this one to right field, and a great running catch by the right fielder, Mateo Porchelato.
It's another hard hit ball from Adam Odd. It's just something that you see from him so often. He hits the ball so hard and deep in a lot of different parts of the field, but right at defenders. And a nice running catch there for Mateo Porchelato, rob extra bases.
He had a long way to go. A great running catch to his right. And Tyler Plumpton comes to the plate with one out here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch is a called strike, and Plumpton thought that was inside.
Abram trying to continue a streak of what would be 9 starts consecutively this year with at least 7 innings.
Here's the pitch. That is outside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Plumpton tonight 1 for 2. Newcomer Brandon Nicholson on deck. Pitch from Abram. And it's hit off the inside part of the bat to center field, and it is going to drop for a base hit. Nice effort by Tyler Dupuis, who went back, couldn't stay with it though. Baycats get a base runner, and the tying run for Barrie comes to the plate.
Tyler Plumpton's been such a surprise hitter this year. Usually you know him as, stalwart behind the plate, such a reliable, pitch receiver, but this year he's taking his offense to another level to string hit after hit together. That's his second tonight.
That ball kind of jammed him, but he stayed with it and was able to hit it hard enough to get it over the head of the infielders. A big base hit for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th. First pitch called strike to Brandon Nicholson. Abram moves that one a little further off the plate, and it's low.
Nicholson still looking for his first hit as a Baycat. 0 for 3 so far, over 2 so far tonight, 0 for 3 last night in Guelph.
That one outside. Trying to push that outside part of the plate just a little bit, but he doesn't get the call. Let's see if Nicholson gets something good to hit here on a 2-1 pitch. Abram deals. That's a called strike, outside corner. Well, give Ben Abram credit. He seems to have a really good understanding of Preston Hughes' strike zone tonight, and he's working it to his benefit, getting some calls that maybe Frank Garces wasn't able to get in the top half of this 7th inning. Abram seems to be getting them here. 2-2 on the way. On the ground to third, and it kicks off the glove of Wisner. He recovers, but he has no play, and there's 2 on for Barrie.
Well, there it is. First hit is a Baycat for Brandon Nicholson, and that's a huge one. String a couple hits together, put him in scoring position for Canisijo, and it looks like that one's going to force Ben Abram out of this ball game.
As well as Abram has pitched tonight, that's what he didn't want to do. Give a couple of base runners on behind him in the bottom part of the order, because now it rolls back up to the top, and Canisijo, the leadoff man, arguably Barrie's hottest hitter as of late, 3 for 3 tonight, has a home run. He's going to bat here with 2 on. The question is, will he face Abram or somebody else?
The debate here is whether Brian Estrie wants to take Abram out before the 4th time through the order.
Canisijo has read him well tonight, no question. Abram's going to get some high fives and stay out there. So no pitching change here. It will count as a mound visit.
Mike Mueller is the arm warming right now in the Jackfish bullpen. He'd be next up. We'll see if Ben Abram can get out of this inning.
Gutsy move to let him face Canisijo. Gotta say, Canisijo's 3 for 3, as we mentioned, a home run that he got absolutely all of, and a pair of singles. Two on for him here. To the belt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Ejo.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot more off-speed on the first pitch for Ben Abram as he goes further through the Baycats lineup multiple times. It's the 4th time he's faced Ejo tonight. lot of fastballs early in the game, but more breaking balls as he progresses.
2 on, 1 out. Abram checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Ejo with another good cut, but that pitch was outside. And it's an 0-2 count. Baycats top of the order, always dangerous. Ejo, Hernandez, and Jaco. Big at bats here for Barrie in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-2 Welland. Here's the pitch. Outside, Ejo does not chase. It's a 1-2 count.
Baycats hitting .265 this year with runners in scoring position. Ejo himself, .289.
Abrams set. And he deals. It's upstairs, 2-2. Really good contingent of Jackfish fans here at Vintage Throne Stadium as well tonight. Just inside the third base side of the dugout, and they've been very vocal tonight.
The contrast when Moretto hit that home run, the silence of Baycats fans surrounding them, and that one section of Jackfish fans going absolutely crazy.
Pitch on the way on the 2-2, and it's outside and low. It's a full count now, 3-2.
A great take there from Ejo. Had been a pitch you might see him chase a little bit more earlier in the game. All the pressure on him in this at-bat, trying to get something going for the Baycats with 2 on in front of him.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners lead. Here's the pitch from Abram. And it's a fly ball to right field. That ball's carrying. It is off the wall. Picked up by Porcelano. It'll score 2 into third with a triple is Cuddy Ejo, and the Baycats have tied the game.
You couldn't ask for a more clutch hit in a more clutch situation for Cuddy Ejo. A full count with 2 on, and he comes through in the biggest way. A triple to that right center field gap. Just a few feet away from his second home run of the game, but the damage is done against Ben Abram. Now a tie game. Looks like it's going to be it for the Jackfish starter.
Brian Essery gets the baseball from his starter, Ben Abram, who pitched brilliantly tonight, but he was left in for 1 batter too many. And this Vintage Throne Stadium crowd serenades Ben Abram with a little na-na, hey, goodbye as he heads to the Welland dugout. 4-4 tie, Jackfish, Baycats, runner at third when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. New pitcher for the Jackfish as Brandon Hernandez comes to the plate. Go ahead run at third base, 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning.
New pitcher in the ballgame for the Jackfish is Mike Mueller, making his 13th appearance of the season. Hasn't given up an earned run yet this year. A .77 walks and hits per innings pitch. He's been extremely dominant out of that Jackfish bullpen. That looks like the best in the IBL so far this season.
Runner at third, that's the responsibility of starter Ben Abram. As for Hernandez, he is 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and was picked off, struck out and hit a line drive for the final out of the 5th inning. Takes the first pitch for a called strike.
Final line on Ben Abrams, 6 1/3, 11 hits, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. So far, 4 earned runs. Still responsible for that runner on third base.
Foul back to the screen. 4-4 tie, Jackfish and Baycats. Full marks to the Barrie Baycats for battling back here in this bottom of the 7th inning after surrendering 4 in the top half. Clutch hitting by Canisijo. Called strike 3. Hernandez bending his knees, doing a squat there, hoping to draw the call at a home plate umpire, Preston Hughes, but he rang him up.
Well, Mueller had peppered him with breaking balls and a changeup earlier in the at-bat. Gets him with that low fastball perfectly placed at the bottom of the zone. You can definitely see why Hernandez was frustrated with that. Not something he typically swing at that low in the zone, but nonetheless it gets him.
Hayden Jaco having an outstanding season, but he's 0 for 4 tonight. Or 0 for 3, excuse me. Ball gets away, runner stays put as it rolls right back to the mound.
Very lucky in that ricochet off the block from Robert Mullen. You can see Ejo was really trying to break towards home plate already. He was about a quarter away down the line when he saw that ball roll right back to Mueller.
Jaco's averaged .323 coming into this game. Big at bat for him here with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Called strike. 1-1.
Another breaking ball there from Mueller. Usually very heavy on the fastball.
Mixing his pitches well in this bottom of the 7th in relief of starter Ben Abram. Baycats lead the season series 2-1. This is the 4th of 5 regular season matchups for Welland and Barrie. On the ground, through into right field. Canisijo scores easily. Big RBI for Hayden Jaco as that one puts Barrie on top 5-4.
Well, that looked like a changeup from Mike Mueller there, and it looked like Jaco was trying to wait on it a little bit, maybe setting fastball when he realized that was off speed. He finally got the bat out to it and went opposite field, right in between Dawson Tweed and Steven Moretto, giving no chance for Moretto to make a play on it. First hit of the game is an RBI single to give him the lead.
Here's a guy who loves to hit with runners on, Ryan Rio. First pitch, he held up. They appeal. He did not go, according to third base umpire Don Michelle, who is standing between second and first.
Jaco.
1-0 for Mueller on the ground. And it's through into center field. Rounding second is Jaco. He's into third without a throw. It puts runners on the corners. And here comes Nolan Macabrota.
Well, you mentioned it, Ryan Rio loves to hit with runners on. Obviously struggling a little bit this year, but he's really heating up, and a great example there, going right back up the middle yet again for his second hit of the game. Same fashion.
Nolan Macabrota, the rookie, has 4 home runs this season. He's driven in 19. Pair of singles tonight.
That 19 RBI leads the team.
Called strike inside corner. they're on the corners tonight, you can't guess because chances are they're going to get called. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Macabrota now quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes.
Both Jaco and Macabrota came into this game with 19 RBI, so that base hit from Jaco earlier in this inning gives him the team lead now with 20.
He's at third, Rio's at first. 5-4 Barrie. The pitch, swing and a miss. Big strikeout by Mike Mueller, but not before the Baycats score 3. And they make it a 5-4 lead now as we head to the top of the 8th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
To the 8th inning, Ben Davy, Julius Hern with you on Baycats TV, Rogers TV in Barrie. Welland Jackfish down by a run now with Barrie up 5-4. And the Jackfish will face right-handed relief pitcher Carlos Soto.
This looks like it's going to be possibly a six out save opportunity here for Carlos Soto should Josh Matlow keep him in the game for both the 8th and 9th inning. But his last outing, remember, it was 2 innings. Got the win in that extra innings W against the Kitchener Panthers on Saturday last weekend.
So that may be factoring into Josh Matlow's mindset here to get the ball out of Frank Garces, who pitched very well until that 7th inning. It all unraveled on him. And in the absence of really having that setup guy that you can be confident in at this point in the season, deciding to let Sano try to nail this down with a 2-inning save.
We'll also keep in mind that with the Baycats taking the lead in the bottom half of the 7th, that also keeps Garces in line for a win should the Baycats hold on.
The thinking with Sano when he came here at the start of the season was that he would be used as a starting pitcher. But with the other 3 arms in the rotation being so strong, they really decided that he would be better served in a later game role. So he's not a guy who's going to run out of gas after 1 inning. Pitch is outside, and the count is 1-2.
Well, Sano's last time he faced Welland was here July 21st. He came in for the 9th inning in that 13-3 win. Went 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout.
1-2, high and tight. Count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So small sample size, but that the success against the Jackfish is there.
Jonah Weisner waits for the 2-2, and he fouls it back. Count holds. Weisner tonight 1 for 2. He singled, was caught stealing, struck out, drew a walk back in the 6th.
The outing before that for Sano was a save against the Jackfish in Welland. That was that wild 6-5 game where the Baycats had to use Ryan Lacasse at second base and Christian Lazar at first base to end the game with how stretched out their bench was.
And that one plunks him in the back. Wisner hit by a pitch. First hit batter of this game. Not what Sano wanted to do. He puts the leadoff man aboard.
Number 10, Mateo Porcelano.
When you look at the three guys in the Baycats pitching rotation, Frank Garces, Cesar Rosado, Juan Benitez, all three of them capable of going 7 innings. Of those three, Cesar might be the one who we've seen, not quite go as deep as the other two, but I mean, if Sano's going to be a 2-inning save guy, you may not really need a lot of middle relief help getting to Carlos in the 8th if he can prove himself effective, and it certainly seems like he's doing that.
Well, the first thing you said right there really goes to show how good this Baycats starting rotation is. If you're going out and sending those three guys to the mound and reasonably expecting 7 innings of each of them, that's incredible.
To first, Williams to short for one, the relay, and a ball bounces away. Good chance for a double play there, but not a good throw to first. So Wisner retired, 3-6. Porcelano's aboard on the fielder's choice.
Well, even if the throw was online and in time, or if it was online there, I'm pretty sure just off the speed of Porcelano alone, he would have beaten that out. But definitely a awkward play when you have the pitcher covering at first base on a double play try.
But to your point about the starting pitching, how many teams in the IBL right now could you roll out 3 names like Garces, Rosado, and Benitez, and any one of those guys can give you 7+ innings with confidence?
Yeah,
Still would be nice to have that setup arm.
It's just that the prolonged success in those kind of roles haven't really been there for the Baycats bullpen this year. It seems like when you're putting guys out, like Brad Grieveson obviously hasn't been as successful as he was last year in late innings. Ryan Lacasse has been very successful in his IBL rookie year, I would say. But with guys like Braden Packola, you're going to get clean innings sometimes, or you're going to get blowout innings sometimes. And that's kind of the balancing act that Josh Matlow has to do with his bullpen.
Swing and a miss. Fastball on a 2-0, and it's 2 balls and a strike to Robert Mullen. One of the league's best catchers at the plate here. Scored Welland's first run in the 7th inning. A 4-run 7th. As the Baycats surrendered the lead for the first time tonight. Now up 5-4. Runner goes, swing and a miss. No throw as the bat hit the hand of Tyler Plumpton. And Josh Matlow's out to say that Mullen should be out. Or that the runner should be out, excuse me, not the batter. This is catcher's interference, then the runner would be out, right?
Yeah, this is a very interesting call because it looked like Preston Hughes was motioning for Porcelano to go back to first base.
So the umpires will convene. There's no question at all. The bat hit Plumpton's hand. You saw the way that he reacted. The trainer out to have a look at him. It looks like he's okay, but he's in some considerable pain. That bat hit him pretty good. So we'll see what the call is here.
So they're motioning the runner to go back to first base again, it looks like.
Well, either it's catcher's interference or it isn't, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the ruling would be to send the runner back.
This is a very interesting call. You have Brian Estrie, the Jackfish manager, out to talk with Preston Hughes.
Oh, they're going to let him stay at second. Nope, they're going to send him back. Porcelano wanted to stay there, but they're motioning him back to the bag, so.
It looks like the call was foul ball because there was a little bit of contact. Plumpton tried to hold on to the foul tip, but with the bat hitting his hand and possibly couldn't hold on.
Well, that would make sense if that was the case. It's a 2-2 count now, and the runner is back at first, so that explains that.
Because Preston Hughes did immediately call a dead ball when the play happened.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Sano with a long look in as Plumpton runs through the signals.
Looks like Porcelato's gearing up to go here.
He goes. Pitch is high. Plumpton ready for it with the throw. And the tag is not in time. A great throw from Tyler Plumpton, but what a jump by Mateo Porcelato.
He just can't throw him out. He gets such a good, idea of the timing on any pitcher he's facing. Porcelato, 2 stolen bases tonight. Make that 22 for 22 on his attempts this season.
He has the best jump of any base runner I've seen in the IBL at this time at least. Sano checks him. Looks over again. Runner goes. The pitch popped up. It's playable. Who wants it? It's the shortstop making the catch. The throw to second. In time for the double play. What a job by the Baycats defense. An inning-ending double play to get the Baycats and Carlos Soto off the field. Barrie hangs on to their 5-4 lead. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. This crowd fired up here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's a tight one here at the ballpark. 5-4 Baycats lead. This 8th inning brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Well, if you're just joining us, what a ball game here at the park tonight. Grab a snack and a cold beverage, but don't go too far from your TV or your laptop. We've seen just a little bit about everything here tonight, and Barrie on top right now, 5-4 over the first place Welland Jackfish. Top of the inning, ending with a spectacular double play. A pop-up off the bat of Robert Mullen and Mateo Porcelato, who was attempting to steal third. Couldn't get back to the bag at second, and the Baycats got off the field.
Well, just like he had on the previous pitch, Porcelato with an incredible jump on the way to third, but he dove in as that ball was being popped up. Had he not dove in and maybe gone into third standing up, he might have had a better shot at getting back. Taking that much more time to get back up on your way back to second base, because it was a bang-bang play, the throw from Hernandez to Odd.
That's really the only drawback to having such speed on the bases, is that if you get a good jump, this one's right off the mound. It caroms off the leg of Mueller. The throw to first is in time. That ball ricocheted off Mueller and went right to Dawson Tweed.
Well, that's going to go down as a 1-4-3. Just terrible luck from the bat of Malik Williams, his first ball hit that hard tonight. Otherwise would have gone right up the middle into center field for a base hit, but that ricochet, it looked like off the cleat of Mueller. It went right into the basket awaiting glove of Dawson Tweed, the second baseman, and just an easy running throw for him.
A fortuitous carom for the Jackfish off their pitcher. And the better news, the more important news, is that Mueller appears to be okay. Team trainer out to take a look at him, along with the home plate umpire, so no mound visit charge there. And Mueller will face Adam Odd. He has hit a couple of really deep balls tonight. Got a home run in the fifth, solo shot, which gave Barrie a 2-0 lead at that point. First pitch on the way, he's taking, that's a called strike.
That looked like the best hit pitch Odd might get in this at bat, just that looping curveball right in the heart of the zone. Another one right there, but just outside.
I wanted to mention something our viewers missed. We had talked earlier about the enthusiasm of the Welland Jackfish fans visiting the ballpark here in Barrie tonight, and they had the wave going here between innings. That one over the glove of Mueller, picked up by Tweet. The throw in time for the out. Funny, 2 balls off the bat, hit hard. Right back to the pitcher that ended up finding Dawson Tweed.
Number 44, Tyler Compton.
Now, the idea with the wave, my understanding, is that you're supposed to do that while the game is going, not between innings. But credit the Jackfish fans for their enthusiasm and getting everybody involved in that, including the Barrie fans. And they had a couple of really good waves going. Center field, and the running catch is made by Gio Morello. So the Baycats go quickly, 3-3 down in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they will try to hold this 5-4 lead as we go to the 9th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Last chance for the Welland Jackfish. It's the top of the 9th at Vintage Throne Stadium, and it's brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
At bat for the Jackfish.
Well, the 8th inning came and went about as fast as a hiccup. And how fast will the 9th go by? Carlos Sano and the Baycat fans are hoping it will be a quick one. Pretty strange after a 7th inning that took, I have to go back and check, but it was probably about 40, 45
Felt like
minutes. A very long 7th inning tonight. The 8th inning was just a blip.
It's pretty wild that the top of the 8th inning for Carlos Sano was 3 up, 3 down. When it hit by a pitch, fielder's choice, and then the pop-out double play off the bat of Robert Mullen.
Got several double plays here tonight, but none more spectacular than that double play that ended the top of the 8th inning. The tying run on base. And a heads-up play by the Baycats defense to nab Mateo Porcelato at second base, who got doubled off. This one hit to center field. Can he see Joe? Couple steps in. He takes it for the first out of the inning.
Well, it was just the perfect circumstance for the Baycats. You know, they got Porcelato, got the jump on his way to third base, and then just when the out happened at second base, Porcelato was still laying there in disbelief. Couldn't believe what had happened. It was a perfect turn, a catch and throw from Brennan Hernandez onto Adam Odd. So both teams with 2 inning-ending double plays this evening.
Yeah, and when you go back and you watch the highlights and the posts on the Instagram story and everything else, the 2 plays that will jump out will be the triple by Canisijo to bring in 2 runs, and that double play in the bottom of the inning. Really, those are the 2 plays that have put Barrie in this 5-4 position. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is Dawson Tweet. Pitch from Sano. It's upstairs. 2-1.
If Carlos Sano could shut down the Jackfish here, it'd be his 4th save of the season.
Broken bat to second base. On to Williams, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Adam Ott really took all the time he could on that play, making sure Williams got to the bag a little bit comfortably, and just like that, Jackfish are down to their last out. And it's Steve Moretto who had that game-tying home run in the 7th inning. This time he's batting right-handed.
First pitch from Sano. It's a called strike on the outside corner. Carlos Sano, a pitch away from nailing this one down for the Baycats, up 5-4, top of the 9th inning. Tying run at the plate. Steve Moretto has a home run already tonight. And another called strike. He's behind in the count, 0-2.
Well, it's worth mentioning here, if Moretto can get on, Grayson Barrett is on deck. He would be the pinch hitter for Tyler Dupuis.
Here comes the crowd, urging Carlos Sano to finish it here. Here's the 0-2, on the ground to second. On with a throw to first, in time for the out. And the Baycats come from behind, I think, the Welland Jackfish tonight by a score of 5-4.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base.
Well, after last night's blowout loss in Guelph, you couldn't have asked for a better comeback and uplifting win for the Baycats. A 1-run win over the top team in the IBL. That'll bring the Baycats within 3 games of the top of the IBL standings now, and they're going to face them again tomorrow in Welland with a chance to now bring that deficit to 2 games.
Yeah, the win tonight guarantees the Baycats win the season series between these clubs. Barrie now up 3-1. Welland will get another crack at them tomorrow in Welland, as you mentioned. But the story tonight, a 3-run bottom of the 7th inning as the Baycats turn a 4-2 deficit into a 5-4 lead, and Carlos Sano with a 2-inning save to close the door for the Baycats tonight. Thanks for joining us here on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Julius Hern and our entire Baycats TV crew, my name is Ben Davy. Good night from Vintage Road Stadium in Springwater. That double play doesn't happen, I think this game's got a completely different ending.
Yes. That was the play of the game.
And it was Porcelano's speed.
That was the detriment of...
It was the detriment of the Jackfish.